Now, as we have also told you earlier, that Crown Prince of Abu Dhabi is in India. He met Prime Minister Narendra Modi. And on the other hand, External Affairs Minister of India, Dr. S. Jaishankar, is in Saudi Arabia to take part in first India-Gulf Cooperation Council Foreign Ministers meet. All this shows India's growing relationship with West Asia. Now, to talk more about this, I have Ambassador Sanjay Bhattacharya, former Secretary, Ministry of External Affairs with me. Sir, a very warm welcome to the broadcast, first of all. A very good afternoon to you. First visit of Sheikh Khaled bin Mohamed bin Zayed Al Nahyan to India as the Crown Prince of Abu Dhabi. He met Prime Minister Narendra Modi and discussion on wide range of bilateral cooperation took place, which includes trade, investment, political relationship, technology, education. Now, India is one of the largest trading partners of the Gulf nation, with a bilateral trade of nearly about $85 billion in 2022-23. This is the data which I'm telling you. Keeping all this into consideration, sir, how well this visit augur for both the nations, knowing that both nations share special relationship with each other?
Well, as you know, India has a very special partnership with West Asia.
Yeah.
Our extended neighborhood. And when we call it part of our neighborhood, it obviously is a signal of the very close nature of the relations that we have, which not only go back to our civilizational contacts, but also go back to the future that we wish to create together. And within the Gulf West Asia region, the United Arab Emirates and Saudi Arabia and Israel have been the very special partners that we have, along with all the other members of the West Asian community. Traditionally, our relations were focused on energy security and the fact that we have a very large diaspora.
Correct.
Security.
But
that relationship has grown enormously into a future-oriented, comprehensive strategic partnership, in which we look at our economic partnership, our technology partnership, our connectivity partnership, and many more. And that's why I think the visit of His Highness the Crown Prince Mohammed bin Zayed to India at the invitation of Prime Minister Modi is particularly significant.
All right. Sir, I'll come back to you. Just give me a moment. All right. And we get you the visuals of Crown Prince of Abu Dhabi paying tribute to Mahatma Gandhi at Rajghat in New Delhi. This is the memorial dedicated to Mahatma Gandhi, who was one of the most influential leaders in the world history. Mahatma Gandhi introduced the idea of non-violence or ahimsa and fought for the country's independence. Also, he left an indelible mark in the hearts of everyone. The Crown Prince of Abu Dhabi is in India at the invitation of Honorable Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi. Both India and UAE enjoy warm, close and multi-dimensional relations based on strong political, cultural and economic ties. He met with the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi at the iconic Hyderabad House today, and talks on various issues regarding trade and technology took place, dominated in fact the conversation. Now going back to our respected guest who has joined us on the broadcast. Sir, continuing the conversation, we were talking about the expatriate community in the United Arab Emirates, which is about 3.5 million. And how do you analyze the fact that it acts as a bridge between the two nations and augur well for both the nations?
Well, as you know, the Indian community's presence in the Gulf region has been there for a very long period of time. And within that, in recent years, the size of the community in the United Arab Emirates has grown the fastest and most significantly. And today it has overtaken the Indian diaspora that is present even in Saudi Arabia. The importance of the Indian community is that it represents both categories of workers, skilled workers, as well as very, very highly qualified professionals. And therefore, the kind of contribution that the Indian community makes welfare and growth and development of the United Arab Emirates is very significant. And this is something that is recognized by the political leadership and the economic leadership in UAE as well. So Indians are at the forefront in the new developments that are taking place in fintech, in biotech, in crafting out the new technologies that UAE is trying to get into as it refashions itself from a country that is primarily oriented towards hydrocarbons towards a more multidimensional economy at the cutting edge. In other words, it's kind of becoming like the new Singapore of the Middle East. And Indians are playing a very, very important role in this.
Okay, sir, when you mentioned new Singapore of Middle East, what exactly are you trying to say? If you could just explain a bit about it.
Right. Many of these are small states in terms of size and population. And very often you will find that the Indian community, in some cases, might even have a population, a diaspora size, which is larger than the local population. There's a very close bond that exists between India and these states of the Middle East. Now, you would recall that there was a similar relationship that existed with Singapore after it was created and it broke away and became independent from Malaysia. And it took the path of achieving very high rates of growth through excellence in whichever sector it chose to be, so that it would be a market leader in that service-oriented economy that it wished to create. What we find today is that UAE is adopting and going along a similar path today that Singapore did many years ago. And given the kind of connections that UAE has done, not only within the region, but with the global community and with India in particular, I think the UAE example will be something that we will look forward to. And India has been and will continue to be a strong partner in that great success story.
Definitely. Sir, Crown Prince of Abu Dhabi will also visit Mumbai, where he will participate in a business forum, and business leaders from both the countries will engage in that event. How do you analyze this as an opportunity for both India and UAE to attract more trade, investment and business opportunities?
So as I was saying, that while the mainstay of our partnership in the past was and human resources, and those continue to be important, the fastest growing drivers which give new momentum to our partnership is really economic and technological. There's a third element, which is the kind of projects and collaboration that we do in third countries. What MBZ, Mohammed bin Zayed, will really focus on in this particular occasion is to leverage the fact that we already have a very high volume of trade. You mentioned the $85 billion figure, which is a bilateral trade. And a lot of it, as you know, is on-support trade, because that then goes on to other countries. This element of that is a very high level of investments. And if I'm not mistaken, the UAE is probably the fourth largest investor in India, if you look at it in overall inflows. So that together gives us the combination. And together, what we have today is new instruments. For instance, in the world of finance and investment, India and UAE have not only become partners in the use of local currency. UAE also uses the Indian UPI interface for financial transactions. And therefore, it sets the stage for the similar application in other parts of the Gulf countries and in West Asia. That will be another leverage where Indian digital public goods, where Indian technologies will work together. Pharmaceuticals, education, medicine are new areas. Retailing, service, automation, these are also new areas. R&D is a new area. So I expect that what the Crown Prince will really look forward to during his visit to Mumbai will be to engage with our business leaders, because many of them are located on the western coast. And as you also know, traditionally, many Arabs have wished to come to Bombay, particularly during monsoon, to see the rain. So I think this will be a great opportunity for our business leaders to hear from MBZ in very clear terms. And he's a very practical, pragmatic, forward-looking statesman as to how he wishes to see UAE go forward and how he envisages India and UAE can work together. You know, coincidentally, External Affairs Minister is in Saudi as we speak for the India GCC collaboration. As you know, UAE is also a partner in the GCC process. So we are working collaboratively, both at the bilateral as well as the regional combination. We did a very, very successful FTA with the UAE, which also provides great opportunities for our business houses to work much closer with the Emirates.
Okay. Sir, continuing what you were saying right now, India's External Affairs Minister, Dr. S. Jaishankar, he is in Saudi Arabia to take part in the first India Gulf Cooperation Council Foreign Ministers meeting. Tell our viewers, sir, about its significance and India's growing relationship with GCC, like you're also mentioning right now.
So as I was saying, our partnership with West Asia, particularly in the Gulf region, is now one of our closest partnerships and one of the one which has the greatest amount of dynamism and future orientation. In fact, we call it, as I said, our extended neighborhood. The relationship and partnership with GCC also goes back a long time. And the fact that we've been doing and able to do so much more with the GCC, which includes 6 principal Gulf countries, is the fact that we are now upgrading this level of exchanges so that just as we do with the Arab world, where we have a ministerial, we're now doing it with the GCC, not only at the level of trade ministers or commerce minister, but also the foreign minister, because in a sense, geostrategy and geoeconomics has got intertwined. We were, as you would probably know, engaged in a process of negotiating an FTA with the GCC. And at that point of time, the GCC and the UAE came forward and said, let us do it first with the UAE, which we concluded in very short period of time. So one of the things that we would like to do is to conclude that similar FTA with the GCC and use the same kind of leverage that we have across different sectors with the UAE and with Saudi and some of our other partners to the entire GCC region, so that we have a holistic approach towards that entire region. And the visit and these meetings between India and the GCC, the Gulf Cooperation Council, will pave the way for a deeper and a much broader engagement that we wish to do. And the entire crux of this is to look at new areas of cooperation, to look at future-oriented cooperation, because both are dynamic systems where the growth potential is entirely huge and we can take advantage of each other's.
All right, sir. It was wonderful having this conversation with you. Thank you so much for joining in on the broadcast.